Okay, welcome to another episode of the Insightful UX vlog. Today I'm going to be talking to you about how to actually build a website. No, I'm not going to show you any code. No, I'm not going to show you any template. What we're going to be talking about today is our process. Okay, so typically most companies, when they want to rebuild their website, they will go and they will find a web designer, a web developer, or it may be all wrapped in one as part of a digital agency. You would brief them as to what it is you're looking for, and they would go away, design, and build you something. Great, that's pretty much the process. No more needs to be said about that. But wait, one of the issues that we quite often see is that once the website actually gets launched, it doesn't actually perform any better, or sometimes even worse than what it was before. One of the key components of our unique process is that we actually go away and we understand what is currently happening on your website, and then why users are behaving in a certain way and how we can rectify that to make sure that your website actually performs at its peak performance. Don't worry, this isn't a sales pitch, this is purely educational. Imagine you've just built a website and you've launched it and you're getting 20% conversion. Great, you feel good with those results. There's always that niggling question, what could it really be doing? How much more traffic could it be converting? How could it engage with your users better? There was a stat by Gartner in 2017 that suggested 79% of marketeers would use customer experience as their primary differentiator. Forget price, forget proposition, it is all about user experience.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yup!
You provide a great user experience on your website, you will convert more customers. Okay, that's fine, but how do I build a website? So like building a house, you wouldn't just go straight to the builder and say, here's some bricks, start building me a house. You go to an architect. An architect would analyze the lay of the land. He would look at the materials that you've got. He'd look at the assets that you've got available to yourself, and he would construct something that fits within your persona. And from that, he would take all the information, all the data, all the analytics. He would take into consideration things like the experience that you want within that home. From that, he would then draft out a blueprint, which he would then hand off to the builders and the developers to go away and construct that house. Just like a website, you need to understand what the materials are you've got available. How are your assets currently performing? What kind of experience do you want to provide for your customers? And then from that, you can then pass on to a designer or a developer. And just like a house, staying with the property analogy, you always build from the foundations up. You don't start with a roof. The roof being the design of the website and the foundations being analytics. Got it? Okay, so how does our process fit in here? So we have something which we call our full digital review, but the key component within that is actually a web audit. We always start every single process, whether it's a web build, a rebrand, a new campaign, we always start the process by auditing the existing website. Okay, so what does an audit contain? So firstly, we'd absolutely advocate that you look at your Google Analytics. Google Analytics is fundamental to understanding the performance of your website. It can provide data on your bounce rates, your engagement rates, how much traffic you're actually generating, which channels it's coming from, where they're coming from in the world, and really how users are flowing throughout your site. Once we understand the what is happening, then we move on to the how and the why. And this is where we undertake a usability review. This is where we evaluate the website from a user perspective by going through that journey and really understanding what is causing people to either hit a roadblock or not progress to an inquiry form or buying a certain product. It's really important to understand the user mentality when using a website. Quite often as business owners, we're so focused on actually managing the business, we forget about how we're actually serving our customers from a digital experience. On the same tack, quite often we see marketing teams and business owners, they're so focused on changing stuff on their website, they can't really see the wood between the trees and the real core opportunity to actually optimize their website. So now you've understood what is happening, and you've got a little bit of why that might be happening from the user perspective. So we've got a load of problems that we think are on the website. How do we then go about actually fixing that? The trick here is to learn from the competition. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. Go look at your competition, take all the good components, see where they are answering those questions, those problems that you've currently got on your website, see how they're overcoming those problems, and basically steal with pride. Following all of that, you then should have a very rigid list of things that you need to fix within your website. We would absolutely advocate, do not throw away your website at the first glance of an issue or an error. There's always an opportunity to take a website to its maximum potential through a robust optimization program. So if you're still really confused on how you actually need to build a website, I've put a link in the description box below where you can download our free web audit guide, which takes you through the entire process. This is our process. This is something that we've created and we owned as Insightful UX. We're proud of our process. It works. We've seen conversions increase from 6 to 22% in very competitive sectors. That's a significant opportunity when you're driving thousands and thousands of visits per month. So if you're currently thinking about either throwing away your website or refreshing it or doing a rebrand, or you want to launch a new campaign, absolutely the first step is to conduct a web audit on your website. If all else fails, get in touch with Insightful UX. We'll be sure to help. That's the sales pitch. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this first of many content blogs and how-to guides. Let me know what you think in the description box below. Appreciate your comments. Until the next one, thanks guys.